So there's one quote of the Pablo Picasso which really speaks to me. It says that every child is an artist. The problem is to remain an artist once they grow up.
You know, we have immense talent here in Charlottesville, and wouldn't it be cool if in our little small town we were able to create a world-class piece of immersive art? It's becoming a very popular thing in many big cities, but not too many small towns have the kind of talent that we have here that can really accomplish this. And so we had this dream of making an immersive art space that would be a combination of digital art and technology as well as tactile art.
This museum is specifically made to touch and feel, and if you find a way to explore it and feel it that we didn't imagine before, let us know. And but yeah, you're welcome to touch, and maybe touching you discover something else that you can explore with other senses.
I want a big playground, basically. A big playground that still has mystery to it and has a little bit of darkness, but generally like feels like a free, open, safe space, which I'm excited about. Yeah.
I found these sort of capacitance sensing sound triggers in these Arduino boards, and I wired up these statues.
We're really enjoying the exercising a freedom of scale here that's pretty unusual. We're also divvying this up into pretty large spaces. Every artist has a pretty large range, a pretty good range within which to work, and trying to keep in mind that it is an immersive thing. So there's upside down, inside out, backwards, forwards, real, not real, digital, sound, not sound, soft, hard, tactile. There's a lot involved.
You know, you come into a utility closet and then all of a sudden there's a 50-foot caterpillar, and then there's like a crazy tree with a throne, and you can sit in it, you can go through the it's an exploratory process that I think will be unique to each person that comes in.
This is not just a gallery where you look at static pieces on a wall, but you actually go from point A to point B to point C, or do you go from point A to point C to point B, so forth and so on. It's a different experience every time.
This is a cabinet of curiosity. The more, the merrier. If you're curious, things will come to you. So here in particular, you're invited to open the door to your curiosity cabinet.
So we have 14 artists working here at various hours. Some artists work at 2 in the morning, some work at 2 in the afternoon, and everywhere in between. Some artists don't want to talk to anyone, some want to talk the entire time. Hey, shh.
The whole process has been a really interesting learning experience, because bringing artists together has been both challenging and exciting, because they're not used to working so closely together with one another. And in a project like this, you're really challenging them to not only focus on what their own artistic specialty is, but to find, how do I work with somebody next to me whose artistic medium may be entirely different than my own, but we need to work together as one.
Your best work is something done intimately and privately usually. So it's really hard to open up and have people see you stumble through. This is one of the things about our environment. We have some sound issues.
You know, I like play my Metallica and like my music, and then everybody else plays their other music, and we just create together.
The collaboration with other artists is been amazing, because everything I see from them inspires me something different.
To be around this with all these creative people working and like we all build off each other is amazing.
And so everybody is a pain in the butt and awesome at the same time, and I don't think anybody here would have it any other way.
We all kind of looked across at each other, all the artists, and sort of said, here we are, and we'll be a team. So far, being a team means trying really hard to stay out of each other's way.
It's been a fantastic collaboration because, I mean, even technology-based art aside as something that's trending, these large-scale collaborations to create an artistic environment is something that is now happening. I mean, there's some other venues around the country that like this literally combine fabrication artists, sculptors, painters, audio artists, visual artists like myself, all kinds of artists together to each fill in a niche in an entire experience, creating a cohesive artistic experience for the patron to go through. And this also adds a fourth dimension of time, so that all these pieces can then be interwoven by yet another piece of art, the story.
Metamorphosis is the word that kind of hangs on every decision as we go forward, both in placement of other people's works as well as the space itself and thematically our content.
We need almost little buttons sometimes to be awakened for something, to get out of the slump, even to get away from your square where you're working on, where you make your living. Get out of it and come and let that button be pushed. And that's the button of curiosity.
This is the first of its kind in Charlottesville. Charlottesville has not traditionally been thought of as a visual art city, and we're hoping that we can change that dynamic by getting people to look at art in a new way.
That very idea, that kind of stuffy, antiquated, elitism of museums gets in the way of museums continuing to be a vital resource,
Ix is one of the only places where you would find available scale like this. One of the only remaining places in Charlottesville.
This is a different world. We're building an enchanted forest, and we want them to come in here and find themselves enchanted and find themselves becoming a part of this theater almost that we're creating.
You can walk through a waterfall without getting wet, let it splash off your body and everything else in your form, and dance in it if you want.
You have to get lost on it, like maybe an insect, or that size at least, small insect, tiny.
It will fill you with new possibilities.
I don't know how you can't be moved by an immersive art experience.
Hopefully, they're leaving thinking when are we gonna get back? We have to come back.